It's time for our basic first mark sheet of the match. What a thrilling game between Rajasthan and Kings 11 Punjab. Should be fun marking this. That's Sanjay Manjrekar's job. Let's find out how he's going.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.
Sanjay, what a game. I want to see if you're going to be as generous with marks as these batsmen were with runs and boundaries today. Let's start with the winning team, Rajasthan Royals. And we're going to start with the captain, Steve Smith. Important half-century to set things up. How would you mark Steve Smith out of 10?
I love Steve Smith because he maximizes his potential. I won't call it potential as well. I mean, he's got a lot of limitations for T20 cricket. He's manufactured greatness at the test level, 50 overs level. And I think his next mission is to be a very good T20 player. And that's starting to happen. So for somebody for whom T20 cricket is not a natural game, I would give him 9 out of 10.
Brilliant. Sanju Samson, following up that man of the match performance in the first game against Chennai, with another incredible display of hitting. How would you mark Sanju Samson out of 10?
Brilliant. Consistency is something that was missing, at least in the first starting of the IPL. We're seeing that from Samson. When the match was lost, with Tewatia coming in, and you could see that the match had slipped away, Sanju Samson still was in it. It wasn't like he had just lost complete interest. He was still, trying to win. It still had the power. So again, I mean, how can you take any mark away from this guy, for the way he batted? 10 out of 10.
Wonderful. Rahul Tewatia. And I wonder if you will mark him separately for the first half of the innings and the second, or they're going to be generous and just mark him for the eventual result.
See, I cannot be dishonest as a cricketer, as an analyst, because the sport is sacred. So, if I have to please people and Tewatia and the family of Tewatia, I could say 10 out of 10. But clearly, it was an act that almost lost the game for his team. But it's just amazing how he came back. So that's going to be a story in itself. So for the memories, he deserves marks, but not 10. So maybe 7 out of 10.
Rarely will you get 100 in a T20 game and end up on the losing side. Mayank Agarwal has that unfortunate feat today. How would you mark Mayank's innings out of 10?
10 out of 10. That he would outscore somebody like a KL Rahul and make KL Rahul look like a second fiddle is just an incredible achievement, because until now his strike rate has been about 125, 130, batting at number 1 and 3. Today was just outstanding. So 10 out of 10.
Now, what about KL Rahul then? We did bring up that innings that went at that strike rate of 125, 130 when the average or the past strike rate seemed to be much higher. In hindsight, how would you mark KL Rahul?
I wouldn't blame him for the loss, but it's a hard lesson for coaches and, how this format is evolving, that if somebody's going at a strike rate of 200 and there's another batsman with him capable of batting at the same tempo or maybe 160, 170, go for it. I thought Rahul was in that partnership looking at the larger picture instead of maximizing his own potential or, running or scoring. But for that, I'm not going to be taking too many marks away. The quality of batsmanship, again, was there to see. So 8 out of 10.
And finally, Nicolas Pooran, not just for that little 8-ball cameo with the bat, but perhaps for that spectacular bit of fielding on the boundary. How would you mark Nicolas Pooran today?
Yeah, you've seen a lot of magic happen around the boundary rope. It's interesting that they drop catches that are straight up, but then take all these mind-boggling catches around the rope. And that's completely to do with the standards of fitness. And what I saw today, I've not seen before. One of the safest statements that people use, and I use also, is one of the greatest. And you could have, many. But that has to be the best six-saving effort that I've seen in my life.
And your marks for Nicolas Pooran then?
Forgot to mark him. Poor fellow. He would see his mark sheet and there are no marks for his performance. 10 out of 10.
Brilliant. Sanjay Manjrekar, thank you very much for marking players for Kings 11 Punjab and Rajasthan Royals. That rounds up our basic first mark sheet of the match.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.